Welcome, everybody, to episode 255 of the Emergent Gamer Podcast. My name is... I just went in with my fucking name. I did not do the humility order at all. This is the Emergent Gamer Podcast. Our guest tonight is... Wait, can I hear him?
Is your mic on, Diamond?
Yes, you just never said what the order was going to be.
We're doing this again, Felix. We're doing this again.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine. I'm Felix Hergood. Our guest tonight is Diamond Jab.
No, shut up. Shut up. Go back.
What's going on, everybody?
Start from scratch. Start from scratch. Do the intro again.
Oh,
all the way again.
Okay.
But say your name. Say who's talking.
You're right.
You're allowed to say your name.
I got confused. I thought I was doing the humility order.
That's what I was thrown off by.
It's okay.
Yeah,
it's okay.
I'm confused. It doesn't make sense to do the humility order. We're not we're not humble at all. All right.
People are really confused.
And you know what, Felix? Say your name, and then you can call out who you want to introduce. Be like, and I'm with Diamond Jab.
Got it.
And I'm with whatever.
See if I can do
you
this.
know?
Perfect. Welcome, everybody, to episode 255 of the Emergent Gamer Podcast. My name is Felix Hergood, and I'm here doing a show with two others. Who's our guest?
It's Diamond Jab. What's going on, everybody?
There's Diamond Jab. And then who else? Who's here?
It's Trip Zero. What's up, everybody?
Trip Zero. What's up, bud?
That was incredible, Felix. Good job. That was take two, by the way. You guys don't know that if you're listening at home, but this is take two. We had a little bit of a...
No, I'll put the take at the fucking. You can catch it at the end. You'll hear the original.
Oh, little hint. I like it.
That'll go right at the end.
Amazing.
Diamond, it's great to have you here, bud. Great to have you here on the show again. You guys know Diamond Jab out there listening.
Thank you for having me. As always, I appreciate it.
Always. You're a great voice for gaming, and we got a big show about gaming tonight with the PlayStation 5 news. So,
yeah,
the chat's a lot of things. Oh, I'm gonna rip off some quick housekeeping.
Yeah, do the housekeeping. Yeah,
housekeeping, guys. We're on YouTube. Please give us a follow on YouTube. We're trying to get to 100 followers so we can make ourselves a cool, nice, succinct little link to make it easier to find us. For now, just search Emerging Gamer on YouTube. All of our show recaps are there. We have breakouts of the shows. We have special events like the Emerging Gamer Smash League. There's a ton of stuff to check out on YouTube, and more is coming in the future. So please subscribe to us there. And also subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify.
That's it.
Are we on Stitcher, Felix? Just that? Was those two?
Are we on what?
Stitcher, I was going to say?
No.
Not Stitcher.
Nope.
Fuck you if you listen to Stitcher. And then like us, rate us, and then give us a review.
I think
that's it.
I think the most aggressive intro.
I think the last episode we posted on Stitcher is 13.
Oh, wow.
They're
not here. They're not here. I didn't even hear that. So it's fine.
They're not even around.
And Spotify still has that fucking weird glitch where there's two Emergent Gamers.
Oh, really? Because I was actually sending some links out to people on the internet previously this week.
If you were sending out links to an accurate numbered episode, like 253 or whatever.
Yeah, I was able to find it there with an accurate episode count.
The accurate episode count Emerging Gamer on there is the right one. Good, you found it. Awesome. But there's one still lurking out there where the episodes aren't even in the 200s.
Weird.
Yeah, because it was when we were associated with
was that OG Podcast? Is that one of their things?
When we were associated with OG Podcast,
mm-hmm.
They had created a link and they had their own thing, and it created this weird dupe. It's still there though. I don't know how to get rid of it either, because they don't even exist really as an organization anymore. So what do you fucking do? It's just stuck.
It's whatever. Anyway, let's do what we always do. Let's catch up with ourselves with our week. Let's start with you, Diamond. How was your week? How was your week in gaming? What were you playing? What did you get into?
Sure. So for myself, I have gotten into the habit of trying to limit my service games heavily. I've been in a really interesting headspace with.
You're where I am.
Destiny in particular. Well, yeah. On top of that, I'm in this weird kind of headspace with Destiny. I had a conversation with Andy, who's one of the subs for the channel, and I was essentially saying that I feel like for years I've been looking for a potential off ramp to kind of go, okay, my time with Destiny was amazing. I'm going to kind of move this way. The problem is everything in Beyond Light looks so good that if I don't take this off ramp, I'm in for like the next like 4 years. So I've been having a really interesting conversation about that, but it's led me to focus on pretty much one game at a time, like per week.
That's good.
Because
I think
launches have kind of been all over the place. If you look at like the launch schedule. What are you gonna say, Trip?
No, I'm saying it's good. I think it's good to focus on one game and really kind of hone in, especially if you're working through a backlog or trying to find something out of your norm, out of your routine, you know, because you really kind of grasp what you like about it. And then when you move on, you either know for sure if you love it and you're going to come back to it and spend time with it, or if you're ready for the next thing.
And part of it is beneficial because I've been using it as my as the tool for my reviews. The gaming release schedule is all over the place because of COVID-19, and so companies are just releasing games at random times in the year just to get them out there. And so this week I've been playing Disintegration. Disintegration is a pseudo first-person shooter real-time strategy game from V1 Interactive. V1 Interactive is headed up by Marcus Leto, who, for people who don't know, he's the co-creator of the original Halo. So this is like his dev team. And they are published by Private Division. For people who don't know Private Division, they published Outer Worlds this past year.
Wow.
So,
Okay.
yeah, so a lot of big names kind of in the organization have been waiting for this game, and I saw it at PAX East recently to see kind of what was coming out there, and it's an interesting experience. I'll get into another Trip. What were you gonna say?
Oh, you saw my finger.
Yeah, your finger up.
You said Leto, and I just was asking if he was related to Jared Leto at all, but that's not important at all to the conversation.
No, there's a it's like a LEH.
Oh, okay, different Leto.
I want to say Letho all the time, but that's not it.
Got it. Yeah.
But yeah, so it's this first-person shooter kind of mixture of a real-time strategy. When I originally went in, I was expecting Halo, for lack of a better way of putting it.
Sure.
But instead, you play a main character in the campaign by the name of Romer Scholl, who's essentially a grab cycle racer. And in this world, humans at one point or another were given the option to take their consciousness, their brain, and implant it into a mechanical body. And that became an option for people who lived in high society, who had the money to do so. But out of kind of the depths of society, there was a group, kind of like a not a terrorist group, but like just the villain, for lack of a better way of putting it. And they were forcing it on civilians.
Oh,
so there were people who lived normal lives who didn't ask for this, and then all of a sudden they became that. And so the game plays very fluidly. It's still in first person, but a grab cycle is kind of like a ship, for lack of a better way of putting it. It hovers above the ground. You can control its elevation. You have your shooting mechanics with different grab cycles that have different weapons. You have different abilities, but the real-time strategy comes in because you are hovering over a team of 4. And those NPCs have their own abilities that you can dictate what they do at any given point. So while I am putting down cover fire on an enemy, I can tell one person to put out a gravity field that slows everything down and another person to send mortar fire in. So I can do all of that on the fly and kind of dictate and control the tempo of certain fights, which in the campaign plays out really well. Full-fledged cutscenes, like it really is a strong campaign showing, which I expected from this team. They did Halo. A lot of the storytelling that people like in terms of strong storytelling has come from Halo.
Sure.
But then they have the multiplayer element, which surprisingly enough, nothing is taken away. It's the same experience in multiplayer. The only difference is, rather than allowing people to choose loadouts, they essentially choose the faction they want to represent. So different factions have different loadouts and different weapons and characters that they bring into the fire team that goes in.
Right.
So it might be a 4v4 team deathmatch or control in this instance. And I still go in with a fire team of 3 that have their abilities that I can choose what to do while I'm fighting someone else on their grab cycle, which actually creates a bit of pandemonium on the field. Like there's a lot of things happening in a short period of time. And once you start to get into a flow of learning how the game plays, that's really where it gets to be a lot of fun. So I've been playing
Cycle. Is this a driving game?
No. Think a first person shooter, but rather than you walking, you're on some type of vehicle that hovers around and you can kind of control the elevation and move in a 3D space.
The way you're describing it kind of sounds like the skiffs from like Return of the Jedi a little bit.
Kind of, sort of. Yeah. Only you can get a little higher than that. You can get a little higher in terms of like.
Can you get out of them?
No.
Okay.
In the combat, you're in this vehicle, and then you dictate what NPCs can do.
So it's kind of like a mech?
Yeah. Kind of like a mech without the walking.
No walking.
Yeah.
And the arms and the body.
And a body, But it's the game that I'm going to be reviewing this week. So I've been simmering in the back of my brain how I kind of build this, because it's a very unique experience. But I have my opinions on it. I don't want to go too incredible.
Yeah, let's not spoil your own content for the end of the week.
Yeah. But no, it's definitely an interesting experience that I've been able to pinpoint certain things about it that I really, really love, and then some other things. So
when will that episode be released?
That'll go up on YouTube on Friday.
Your YouTube channel?
Yeah, my YouTube channel. That'll go up on Friday.
Which is?
Just that I don't have enough subs for the link, but you could search at Diamond Jab.
Right. Search Diamond Jab YouTube. Got it.
Diamond Jab YouTube. And then of course I've been playing Destiny, like most of us in this clan have I guess chosen not to do, depending on where you fall on the line of what you've done and what you haven't done.
Can I ask you a question? Because it's been an interesting week, the first week of the new season. Did you do any of that AFK farming? I
did not. No, I played. I did none of the AFK farming.
I definitely did. I did. Yeah. I did the last day before they did the server side change. They kicked you back to orbit and let it not be autopilot.
I didn't even do AFK farming when the Forge did it the first time. Like, if you remember, I think it was like during the first
people could do it. I didn't farm then, but
how do you do AFK farming?
So you could essentially set up the game where you would just leave your character in an activity, and the game would continue to place them in that activity. And once the activity was completed, whether you won or lost is irrelevant, you would get a reward for it. So you would just
for some reason sorry to cut you off, Diamond. I'll lean in a little bit more. Some reason this season, the Forges, which were an activity that were released in, what was that, December of 2018 was that season? Mm-hmm. The Black Armor, yeah. For some reason, the Forge activity now rewards the new engrams from this season on an almost like 50% basis at least. Like, you will always either get one or get one the next run that you do. And what you do is you put on gear that puts you below power level 750. So you're not matching with people that actually want to do these or need to do these forges for quests. You're only matching people that are intentionally going in there to stand there and let the event fail. Because if you don't kill enough enemies, like, there are certain enemies you kill to make the timer go up. If you don't kill them, the event fails in 40 seconds, which is less than the AFK timer for the game. So the event auto fails, you get rewards, it puts you back into the queue, you launch it again, get rewards, repeat, and you can just leave this running all night. And barring like a connection error, you wake up to
you don't have to hit anything to launch it?
Not originally. They made a change literally 2 days ago on the server side where you now have to manually requeue. And someone came out with a macro that can fix that, of course. So if you really want to still do it, you can. You got to work a little bit harder. But it illustrates the ultimate problem that Destiny still has, that people don't want to play the shit that's repetitive and boring and the same thing to get their power level up to do the new shit that's cool.
Goes back to our original emergent gamer conversation about the difference between the word cheating and cheesing.
Right. Yeah. That'll
just, we don't have to go it's just a couple letters. I mean,
I've looked at it like this. I have reached a point in my gaming career where I cannot for the life of me look for an excuse to not play a game. I will just not play it.
Right. I'm the same way.
It was I would much rather be honest in my relationship with Destiny than like do an AFK thing. Either I'm going to play it and just kind of live with where it's at until it gets better, or I'm just not going to play it. which is what I did last season, where I was just like, I don't really care about the Savior title and Season of the Worthy, so I'm just going to come back at the end and do whatever I want to do. But yeah, it's an interesting dynamic because there are people that want to run it, which they're more than welcome to do so. There are people that don't want to run it, which they're more than welcome to do so. But it's indicative of a larger problem that Bungie has, which is that they've not figured out how to create a content-driven MMO versus a mechanically driven MMO.
Right.
So they're forcing people into these lanes of just system on top of system on top of system on top of system on top of, like, someone brought up recently, which I didn't even think about. They were like, yeah, you know, one of the benefits of going into getting Season of the Worthy armors for the Warmind mods. And I was like, why would I do the Warmind mods? Not that they're good or bad. It's why would I add another system on top of what I'm already trying to manage?
Right. Yeah. No, I mean, I was running a strike last week and I saw like a Warmind cell pop up and I was like, wow, someone's still using that build in a new season, you know? Like, it didn't, and I didn't even touch that system because I didn't play last season barely at all. Like, certainly not enough to understand what the new mods did or how they worked with your characters, your weapons, or anything. So I was like, I'm not even going to touch that. That's a whole quarter of a year's worth of content I'm never going to touch until I get armor. They won't even be able to slot it, and then it's not going to literally matter at all because it's going to go away. So did I really lose out?
Yeah.
No.
We have a lot of awesome stuff to get into, but I do want to ask one question, Trip, which is, did you see Say No to Rage's slot leveling idea?
I watched half of it, and then something happened at my house and I couldn't finish the video. But I know generally the idea. It's where I guess if you get a certain level of a certain piece of armor, it locks that piece, so you don't have to worry about trying to keep getting the right drops. Like it's beneficial for leveling, right? In a power level averaging system like Destiny is, or you have to wait for the right thing to luckily drop to raise your level. This kind of gives you some bad luck protection, right?
So he's saying forego what is arguably the infusion system. And he's saying if you do an activity, whether it's powerful, pinnacle, or whatever, and the reward for that activity gives you a piece of gear at 1030, and it's a pair of arms, your arm slot is now 1030, which means any item you put into that slot,
it just
becomes 1030.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter that you had a pair of arms at 940. It doesn't matter that you had whatever. It's 1030, period. End of discussion. With that being said, your materials are still utilized to make your items masterwork based on what you want to choose to influence and where the specific numbers drop and all of those other things. But ultimately, at the end of the day, his argument was, why not just let whatever campaign you introduce or whatever narrative or whatever mechanic get people to soft cap and then let their milestones increase their slots by however much. So if you do a pinnacle that gives you a +5 and it's your mark slot will go up +5. So whatever.
Okay, so I did understand that.
Afterwards, yeah, whatever armor you choose to put in after that doesn't matter unless it's a higher light level than what was there before.
Right.
I did have a question for Diamond.
Sure.
This kind of calls back to what you were saying earlier, Hal. If something you're doing, whether it's a service game or even whether it's a single player game with achievements or whatever.
Sure.
If you, I know you said that if something's ridiculous, you won't even bother. And I kind of agree with that. You know, like for me, it's like legendary trophies or whatever, like trophies that I'm going to get for like a game or whatever. Like a great example is the Fallen Order game. I looked at the things you have to do for their trophies, and it's insurmountable, the amount of bullshit you got to do in order to get them. So I'm not even going to bother. But like, what if you're in a situation where you've got almost everything just by playing the game? You played it normally at your own pace, and you were able to achieve most of it. And then you look on the list of things you need to get for that reward or whatever, and there's literally like 2 things. But the 2 things you have to do are so fucking absurd and stupid and ridiculous. Do you push it just to get the 100%? Or do you, at that point, you go, why the fuck is this so ridiculous and absurd? And then do the thing you normally do where you say, fuck this.
So I'll use two examples, and it's one where I chose to do it, and one that I chose not to. The one that I chose not to.
If you name
Trip Zero.
if for the one that you chose to do, if you name what I did,
I don't think
it's gonna be
so.
hilarious.
I'd be blown away. Trip Zero was Breath of the Wild. I paid for the expansion for Breath of the Wild. They introduced the Champions event where it said, all right, in order to do this content, the first mission is we're going to give you an item that's one hit kill. It kills you or it kills them.
Look, I don't want to stop your story, but I'm going to put a pause on it real quick because I was literally going to talk about this in the thing that I did this week. So continue. You go, and we'll have this discussion right now. I played this last night. I played this shit last night.
I distinctly remember you walk out of the first area, you have the item, and it's like, all right, you got to go to these three places, and you have to kill the enemies there to do whatever. And there's a like one of the big bokoblins is there.
Mm-hmm.
And I stealthed my way. I'm picking people off left and right. And this dude fired an arrow from so far away. And it nicked me like in the foot. And I was dead.
He had his aimbot, plugged it in.
Exactly.
Not your character.
And immediately, I mentally came to the decision, I didn't want to do this. That doesn't mean I stopped playing. I just did all the other shit I wanted to do.
Right.
But something I had paid for, the DLC I had chosen to invest in, I was intentionally saying to myself, I'm not interested in this. That one mechanic, it's not unbeatable. There are people all over the planet who've beaten it.
Mm-hmm.
But that type of mechanic and style does the one hit kill, one hit be killed is not appealing to me. It's a challenge I don't enjoy. Doesn't mean it's bad. It's just not my thing.
This mean you're saying in the context of that game, your character has established all those hearts, and you have a shit ton.
Yeah.
And when you fight whatever this is, it instantly takes away all your hearts, and you die.
You're holding a weapon.
You're holding a weapon. One hit, you can kill anything.
But if you get hit, you die.
Kill him.
If you get hit by anything, like you get hit by the ice blast from a little slime that's a frozen slime, you're dead. Like anything.
I wouldn't enjoy that.
So immediately I was
You
like,
would
you know
not
what?
enjoy
No, not at all.
But I paid for this. So like part of that was coming to the conclusion of like what I've invested in, it doesn't. This is an example of something I've purchased that doesn't have value for me.
You go to a fucking carnival before and spent $5 on the ball toss? Yeah. It's okay. You walk away. You don't get angry at the carnival.
I just
threw the money away. It's fine.
Him saying that exact line with no beard is hysterical.
You look
because I can see every facial animation. It's just like the ball toss, you know?
Yeah.
So flip it.
You're saying I'm funnier with my fucking face?
It's hysterical. So if you flip it, I did not. I knew I was going to love Spider-Man on the PS4, but I didn't know I was going to 100% platinum love it on the PS4.
Yeah.
Because I don't platinum games. That's not my thing. I play the campaign. I play the occasional multiplayer, and once I feel like
fun, though, wasn't it?
Regardless of the achievement, exactly.
Yeah.
Regardless of the achievement, that doesn't matter. Once I'm done, I'm done. But I went back and was like, holy shit. The only trophy I'm missing is beat the game on Ultimate. That means I have to
wait. So you got all of the Taskmaster shit like first time through?
Everything.
That's crazy.
Except for go back through and beat the game on Ultimate.
Right.
Which means I have to play the whole thing again.
Well, I didn't. That's a good example. I did the same thing as you, but like I didn't like look at that as not a part of like I that was not an insurmountable, ridiculous thing to me. Okay, you have an achievement for play it again on an Ultimate. That's very common. That's the point I'm getting at.
Well, let me give you a different perspective for that. I had gotten into the habit of reviewing games weekly.
Oh yeah.
I had Persona 5. I had Sea of Solitude. I had the Sea of Thieves update. So I was playing something new every week. So the fact that I was willing to forego my offline schedule to then go back through a game that I've already beaten on the hardest difficulty says, excuse me, says something about how amazing that experience is.
Yeah.
That was kind of the mental thought process that I had around, like, when I come to that conclusion, is it could be for a wide variety of reasons. Sometimes it's not the content. It could be financially. It could be like situational. But like, I know in my head the moment that I go, yep, I think I'm good.
Can I tell you mine?
All the time. Go ahead.
Not a negative one. I mean, there's a lot of things I just said fuck all to. Especially number one at the top of the fucking list is the goddamn give me God of War fucking difficulty on God of War. Fuck that shit.
You didn't
I
like
am
that?
never fucking playing that ever. You fuck off. Like, that's too hard.
Wild, dude.
But I've mentioned this on the show to Trip before, and I'll bring it again. And you might know what it is. You played Arkham City, right?
Yes.
I did not play Arkham
Did
City.
you 100% Arkham City?
No.
Yeah. You want to? How many trophies did you get, or did you not even worry about it?
At that point, I didn't worry about it.
Okay.
When Arkham City came out, I was
Do
working
you
at GameStop.
remember reading what the Calendar Man trophy was?
Yes. Didn't you have to go back to the game on a certain date?
You had to, for a whole year, go to get. So I looked at my trophy list and realized the only one I didn't have was Calendar Man. And then I was like, I wonder why I didn't get this. I got everything else. You know, like what's so ridiculous about this? I looked up what you had to do. Well, on your Xbox, and at the time it was Xbox 360 when I played it, you had to go in on St. Patrick's Day, with Batman, talk to Calendar Man, and he would give you an anecdote about St. Patrick's Day and Christmas and Thanksgiving. It's like 12 different dates or 20. I don't know how many days it was. And then the trophy would pop. And the way that people would cheese it, I don't know if it's cheating or cheesing when you're dealing with trophies. The way people would cheese it is they would literally change the time of their Xbox. They take their Xbox off of internet connection and then change the time and do it completely offline. And that's how I was able to get that trophy. That was the only time where I was like, there's so much I accomplished. I just want the goddamn 100%. So I just said, fuck it, and cheesed it as everyone else did online.
Let me give you one more. Felix, you and I had the same experience. And we both made a conscientious decision on stream at the same time in one day. And that was Ghost Recon during the Sam Fisher Splinter Cell event. We played that event. And at the same time,
we played that
came to
a few times before we came to this conclusion. We attempted it.
I came to the conclusion, I'm not playing this game anymore. I'm not playing this event. I never went back to Ghost Recon Wildlands.
Oh,
I continued to play it after that.
Yeah, I continued to play it, but then now I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think at that time I had already 100%ed the whole game when we were playing that. They were just bringing us back because of special events, and I was coming back in to just play further with you, just to socialize, you know. But yeah, you're right. It's because I did the first event, which was the Predator event, and succeeded at it. So I figured, hey, I could probably do this event and be fine. And then played it and realized, fuck you. And then subsequently, there was one after that also tied into, what's that other game that Ubisoft, Rainbow Six, the Siege.
Oh, yeah.
So they came out with a Siege event. Yeah. And I went in and did that. You weren't involved in that. I ended up doing the Siege event, and it was just as ridiculous, if not more ridiculous. And I went, fuck this, man. What are you doing? Like, why are you giving us free content and then up in the fucking difficulty level to fucking, plaid? What the fuck are you doing? Like, it's just bullshit. That was a Spaceballs reference.
Yeah. Anyway, that's my week.
Anyway,
which is always a heavily worded week.
It's all right.
Let me sneak in real quick before we go to Felix, because of the fact that you brought up that Zelda thing. That's really the biggest thing that I wanted to talk about. That I literally did this last night. This challenge.
Do I know what this is? Because I play the game too. But
did you get the expansion content? Because you have to get the expansion content and then go back to the shrine where you started the game
Yeah.
and put your Sheikah slate into the pedestal. And then, Zelda's like, I have something for you to do, Link. There's more shit to do. And then you like get this challenge. You get this weapon, which, like Diamond said, was one-shot kill. Anything.
Will she say that if you didn't beat Ganon?
That's irrelevant to the point.
Because I haven't beat Ganon, but I have that DLC installed.
Yeah. I don't know. I think you can just you have to at least beat the 4 divine beasts. That's definitely
those aren't beat yet.
Because this is like the 5th divine beast.
Oh, got it.
That's kind of the challenge for this. So I went here because I was being told by my chat at the time that this is how you get the motorcycle.
Yes.
You get a motorcycle for Link to ride around it instead of a horse. You can summon this thing whenever.
I heard about that.
So I was like, this is pretty cool. I was following along the little quest lines to get the armor from the DLC. Let me just get the motorcycle. This seems like a pretty cool thing to do for the last couple hours of my stream, right? So I start this quest, and then I get this weapon, and then I quickly realize, like Diamond did, I don't just have to go to these 4 monster camps and clear them out. It's not a special activity. You're literally just on the map. Like, you're on the map with all the enemies. So even if you're not attacking or making a push against one of these monster camps you have to clear, a random fucking bat could hit you and you're dead.
A horse could run into you.
Yes.
And you're dead.
Yes.
Hysterical.
Yes. So I was like, wow, this seems like really fucking aggressive to just get a motorcycle in a game where I can teleport wherever the fuck I want, as long as I've been there. Like, why would I waste all this time to do all this shit to get a motorcycle? And that's, I think, the part that stuck with me the most. I'm not against the challenge. And over the course of the end of the stream, I ended up, every time you clear a camp, you get a new shrine on the plateau. So the 4 camps you had to clear, each one will pop out a new shrine to then solve. But you have to solve the shrine with the same weapon. You can't take the weapon off. So the shrines are one-shot kill too. Bouncing spike floors, cruising through like swinging metal balls, giant or big feats of strength that like usually go in those shrines where you fight a one of the robots and then you're done. When you fight a robot here, the floor opens up and there's more shrine below. They're the wildest, coolest shrines I've been in, but I also had this like weapon on my back that's like, if I get hit by anything, I'm dead. And I like the challenge overall. I really do. You are kind of like checkpointed after every monster like camp and then also every shrine you do. So it's not terrible. You don't lose a lot of progress if you mess up. But I'm like, I'm doing this all for a motorcycle. Why is that the reward? Why don't I get this weapon to be able to use it forever if I want to play this risk reward game? Why don't I get some like invincibility? Like, why don't I get some really wild shit for the really wild activity that I'm doing? Why is it just a motorcycle? I think that's the biggest question that I have. Like, why put so much design and effort into the survival gameplay, into forcing you to play incredibly tactically and careful, and at some points aggressive in the right times? Like, you're teaching a player to play a certain kind of way, and then all of a sudden, like, you did all that, you're nuts, what a gamer, here's a motorcycle. I know you can teleport no matter where you're going to go, but here's a motorcycle. It just feels like tacked on that was the design for that reward.
Well, I feel like that's the kind of the common theme for a lot of the games that we've gotten in this generation. Is like there are certain aspects of them where the dial is like cranked to 11, but the either the reward or the experience doesn't necessarily equate to how far the dial has been cranked.
Right.
And so the games that have had the most success rate are the games where certain aspects of them are the most satisfying. Spider-Man's a great example. I read an article where someone said, I boot up Spider-Man and I swing around for 2 hours every day because it helps me relax and clear my mind. And I'm like, what? What are you talking about? But there's something to that traversal system that gets that satisfaction. So regardless of what the game asks you, regardless of how difficult it is, there's a lot of something being done in between.
Sure.
That someone can enjoy. So it's just an interesting dynamic. Like Zelda is so willing to look at players and say, do whatever you want. You want to go fight Ganon with a stick? Have at it. Be my guest. You don't want to do any of the divine beasts? Go ahead. And then to introduce an item with so many restrictive stipulations is just tonally is just very different from what the freedom that the game kind of offered you.
The game,
Not only is it-
I see, you guys seem to be shocked by this, but I found that game to be pretty fucking, unforgiving from times. Like if you,
no, you're mishearing. I'm not shocked at how unforgiving it is. I'm merely talking about the specific activity I'm doing and then what I'm doing it for.
okay. You're saying the reward for doing the activity is fucking
Correct.
dumb.
I don't think it's worth what I was doing.
Yeah, I agree. Just a fucking.
Not that it's not cool on its own. It's very cool. Having an ancient technology in the Zelda world motorcycle is cool as shit.
It's this thing is what I normally call torture porn. It's like these guys.
You're a fan of this.
These guys.
This term
That's what I'm
recently.
saying. These guys don't mean to be creating DLC for a video game. They mean to be creating torture porn. That's what they wanted to do because they just sat around and said, "Why don't we put something in the game that just tortures the player and makes?"
I feel like
that's what they do.
No one.
That's what they do.
No one does this. No
Yeah,
one
they
thinks
do.
like this.
Yeah,
No.
yes, they do because there's no
We're
other
not
reason
looking
why
at
it would
saying-
exist other than them wanting to will it to be.
We're not gonna.
I'm just saying, dude. Like
They like to design challenges for sure, but no one's sitting there going like, "Ha, fuck that guy. He's gonna love this. He's gonna hate this."
I think they
Maybe
are.
somebody.
Oh well, okay, so that's different.
That's what I mean.
I think that's different.
I think they're like,
I
we gave them all this fun stuff. Why don't now we just fuck them? Put in something ridiculous.
So
we'll make it a really cool.
If that wasn't the case, I don't think the Souls games would be as popular as they are.
Right. Yeah, the Souls game are like
I
a
don't
sales
think
pitch.
that concept of making something incredulously difficult is not wouldn't be a thing.
I feel like it's the way that you're pigeonholing this desire of a developer, Felix. I feel like that's the problem. Developers love to implement design challenges, sometimes very, very challenging design challenges. Right, that makes sense. But they're not just sadistically putting that in the game because they love hopping on a Twitch stream and watching someone just fail for hours. They want someone to overcome this. They want someone to learn from what they're doing. They want someone to like look at the feedback of how they died, or maybe they noticed at the last second a certain kind of animation before they died. Like they want that. They want you to like get beat up but then get up again and then do it. They don't just want to watch someone fail forever endlessly, which is what it implies when you say they just
The
want.
thing is, though, about the Souls game, I mean, I haven't played Dark Souls, but I played Bloodborne, and I discovered with Bloodborne that those guys write into their game the failure. It's a part of the design. You fail over and over again as a part of their design. Almost like I'm trying to think of a movie where somebody the Live Die Repeat movie with Tom Cruise. Did you guys ever
whatever the
Edge of Tomorrow?
Edge of Tomorrow.
Right. So Edge of Tomorrow, the purpose is for him to learn how to complete it, right?
Yeah.
And he has to learn over time. And that's kind of like what the Souls game are. The Souls games are. I'm saying I get broadsided by it when it's in a game that doesn't have that as its premise, where it's not rewarding to die. It's rewarding to die in Bloodborne, and it's probably rewarding to die in other Souls games because that seems like
That's the mechanic.
that's what that company does. I get pissed off when I'm in the middle of like, for instance, like, I brought it up earlier, but like, I play Uncharted 1, I play Uncharted 2, and I play Uncharted 3 on Crushing. And I breeze it. I mean, it's hard. It's really hard, but it's a manageable difficulty. Like I'm able to like manage it. Like I know what I'm doing, right? And then I play Uncharted 4 on Crushing, and it's like dickhead Neil Druckmann goes, let's turn that fucking up. Like if I'm in the Well of Souls, but not Well of Souls, that's from fucking Indiana Jones. What was the fucking hole in Princess Bride that they put the guy in on the rack, and he turns up the machine and fucking sucks all his life from him? What was that called? I can't remember. The Pit of Despair. Pit of Despair. It's like they create this pit of despair to put you into after they've given you all this fucking moderate challenge, and I don't understand why. Maybe they didn't balance their own game, right? I mean,
no, it's not. No, it can't. Felix, just listen to what you're saying, dude. They didn't balance their game incorrectly. There's no way that they did that. There's no way they shipped this and they were like, we just didn't care. We're like okay, who cares? It's really hard. We're not going to provide a way out of this. That's never the thought process.
Man, you're just more of an optimist than me.
So here's the thing. I agree with Trevor. I don't think there's ever an instance where they don't care. At the same time, I do think there's a wide line between I don't care and I want to make something that has one specific way to beat it, not 10 specific ways to beat it, not a wide variety of ways to beat it. It's one way to beat it.
Right.
And you have to figure out what that way is, regardless of your build or what you've been doing. Like, imagine for a moment you're playing a Souls game, you've been walking around with a giant battle axe, and then all of a sudden you run into a boss. It's like, guess what? You got to dual wield daggers now. And it's like, I've not prepared for this at all.
Right.
But
what they
this
want,
is the only thing that's working.
What they want, regardless, is for someone to figure it out.
Oh yeah,
that challenge. That ultimately,
100%.
Regardless of how many hoops you got to jump through, that's what they want. No one is there for just beating you into the ground for the point of beating you into the ground.
I made that accusation about Gimme God of War mode earlier, and then I joked about it earlier, but like, I completely understand why that exists. It's not for me, but I completely understand why it exists. There are people
100%.
who have accomplished it and they've done it, and as I see it, I think once you play in the earlier difficulties multiple times, if you're somebody who's that passionate, you can go into that version of the game and like know where things are and figure it out. And I really think that's feature in that game is built into it to encourage replay value of their game. Not, like they're not providing a service game, but they want you to play their story more than once. And what's going to motivate you to play the story, just like with Resident Evil 2 and 3. Replay value on those makes it so that you can do the accomplishments, the stuff like the platinum trophy on that. You know what I mean? If you don't replay it, then you don't get it. You don't understand why they intended to do things a certain way. So, yeah, I understand what you guys are saying, but sometimes, man. It's a nut smash right on the fucking table.
Are you saying sometimes you get frustrated playing these games when you're trying to?
Sometimes smacking my nuts.
He's got a hole in his table to prove it.
Yeah,
he does. That's where the nuts go.
Right here, right in front of me, looking at the hole right there.
Oh god.
Anyway,
all right. Well, Felix, do you have anything you want to highlight?
Speaking of games that have punched me in my nuts. In recent history, I decided to download No Man's Sky.
Oh, you did say you wanted to talk about this.
I downloaded No Man's Sky. It's on Game Pass. If you're not aware of this and you have Game Pass and you've never tried No Man's Sky, you have a chance to try it out. I am addicted to this game, I could say. I'm well into it at this point, but I chose to play survival mode, and I need to ask questions of anyone who's played it. Diamond, have you played it? No,
I've not. No.
Trip, you have though.
I have, yeah.
And my question comes down to the premise of survival mode. Is it intending to put you in an inhabitable part of the universe on purpose? Yeah. Does it do it every time that way?
Yeah. Even if you start normal, you will be on a pretty hostile planet to start to force you to figure out how to survive.
I have explored every planet in the system. I got 2 dinky planets with nothing. They're pieces of shit that are barren. I got a super hot planet, a super irradiated fucking planet, and a frozen ice ball. I named the hot one hottest.
What mode did you pick? You just said the mode you picked.
Listen.
Game you're playing right now. Can you say it one more time just to
I named one of the planets hot as nuts. One of the planets hot as nuts. The other one's cold as nuts.
Mm-hmm.
Or cold sacks.
Cold sacks. Okay, we got hot as nuts.
But the third planet I got to
the system dick punch.
I didn't. I started on an irradiated planet, and I called that Big Dictious. That's what it's called.
Big Dictious. Sure.
Wow.
Sure.
So
I need another white. Keep going.
So this is what I'm saying. I start researching the game a little bit. You know, I played one last space game I played was Destiny, and I found that I had to like go out and find out things because games aren't going to tell you anything, and it's great. I love it when games don't tell me anything, but I start researching stuff, and I start how do I get out of this system of shitty planets? And I basically was like, what do I do to get out of this system of shitty planets? And naturally,
there's a quest line you can follow.
Right.
That teaches you how to fix your ship, how to craft the items, how to make like antimatter to put in your engine. The game does have all that in there with little prompts and little waypoints. You can even turn on a little floaty that shows you like, oh, I should probably harvest this thing. Let me just turn my camera toward the little diamond and maybe shoot my laser gun at it and scoop out some of the carbon.
All of the planets that I'm dealing with in the system I'm in, because I can't leave the system until I get a hyperdrive, right? I got to find the hyperdrive wherever the fuck that is. And I heard you buy that or build that or something from a trading post.
You have it in your ship. You fix it, but you need materials to be able to fix it and to power it. And those are sometimes harder to find.
It's already on my ship, you're saying?
Yeah.
Oh. Well,
or maybe they might need you to get the technology. But either way, it's going to be on the space station right where you're at.
Okay, you just said a bunch of words that don't exist in the version of the game I'm playing. The space station where you're at.
No space station?
There's no space station in the system. So if there's no space station in the system,
Can't buy shit.
I can't buy the hyperdrive. How in the motherfuck do I play this game? Like,
well, then it's the one you fix on your ship. Like, there's going to be a way to get off the planet. And
here's the thing: I found another ship and looked for the word hyperdrive somewhere in that ship, which is bigger than my ship. By the way, after I found that ship, I don't know how to read maps or use anything to track stuff, so I lost that ship. I'm on the planet. I finally said, fuck this. I'm just going to I'm to the quest line to help you build a house.
Shit.
Right?
Yeah.
So I started building the house, and I built the house. And the cool thing about when you put the cap on the house, like the roof and shit, instantly it becomes a hospitable environment that you can walk into with good environmental temperature, and you don't fucking die instantly like I've been fucking constantly. It's terrible. But anyway, so I have a hut on this inhospitable planet called Hot as Nuts. And it's like,
holy shit.
It's 171 degrees Fahrenheit all the time on this planet. I think it has good resources.
Holy shit.
And I'm under like a starship that looks like it's from Star Wars that crashed. So I think I could probably go in that and find shit. Maybe.
Probably find some good shit.
But probably. You can find a couple things.
Okay. What you do is you sit in your ship that needs to be fixed.
Mm-hmm.
And you open up your inventory?
Yeah, I do.
And you open up your ship inventory. Do you know how to access that?
Yeah, one thing I figured out is if you're about to die in the inhospitable environment, in the heat or the irradiation or the cold, because I've died so many different ways.
There's a lot of things that can kill you. Yes, a lot of environment.
If you're about to die, you run back to your ship, get into it, and store the stuff that you might lose when you die in the ship, in the slots in the ship. Yep. So I've figured that tactic out. So I've been storing stuff in the ship. And then I'll get out and just die and let myself die. This is if I have virtually no health left. What?
Why are you letting yourself die? What's the point of that?
I might have picked the wrong difficulty. I picked survival.
Okay. At the end of the day, I may have picked the wrong difficulty. Dude, you can play it this way.
If I go into the normal way of playing the game where I start,
it's the same thing.
It's the same thing. I start on a crazy inhospitable planet. There's no green. What do they call them? Green belt planets like Earth that are in a green belt. Isn't that what they call it in space?
You're not going to start on one. There might be one.
No, you're not going to find.
I don't think I'll start on one, but I'll be able to find one potentially in my system.
In any system I've started in, I've never found one.
There are trillions of systems. The answer is maybe, possibly, but you're talking about,
Right.
You'd have to start an infinitesimal amount of save files to
in any situation
potentially get.
The thing that's weird is why am I not in my system finding that space station? Where does that exist? I don't even know.
There are star systems that don't have space stations. That's a fact. Then it makes sense they would put you there.
So that's just shitty RNG then.
Especially on survival. I mean, they might actually choose to put you there in survival. So they make you do some just like hop to multiple systems to be able to connect to like, you know, the society of the game to buy shit or trade shit or sell or whatever.
Oh, and so back to that second ship that seems to have a hyperdrive on it, right? This other ship that needs a lot of fixing. I mean, I got to put a lot of work in. This is a fixer-upper, this motherfucker. But back to that ship, I can't find a ship database to show, because I made that ship my ship, and it said, this is your primary ship now. And I went, oh, that's weird. And then I went back to the other one. It said, switched primary ship. I don't know where... I don't know where that ship is. I can't find it. It's somewhere on this planet.
There's a quick summon button from your controller. I forget what it would be because I play on the keyboard.
Yeah.
But you can summon either ship to you no matter where you are.
Well, only if it can move, right?
No, actually, ships that cannot fly, they need to be fixed. You can still teleport them to you irrationally, but then they won't move once they land. You just bring them to you essentially. The game just delivers that ship to you. Essentially,
I got to figure out what that is, because that command I need, because this other ship I got might have a hyperdrive already in it.
It's in your quick menu. However you like recharge your technology really quickly, however you turn your
it's
flashlight
in there. Okay.
Mode. It's in that same set.
Yeah,
of,
that's thinking in controller it's down D-pad. So
that makes, I think it is a D-pad mapping. Does that make sense?
Yeah, because that's where you find like the map of the galaxy as well.
Yes. Yeah, when you're on the ship, you can see that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
yeah.
so,
Dude, you just have to fix the ship that you're on, and find the things to fix that. But sometimes it does require you to play the other quest lines, like the habit quest line, like building the house, because that'll like teach you how to build like a construction terminal, to then learn how to like buy technologies, to then maybe like craft or find the things you need. Like you might need something called like a wiring loom. You know, you can't make that at the point of the game you're at. You have to find it or buy it from like a trading post, but then you might not be on a trading post planet, so you might have to like work up the technology tree to craft it.
Oh, I know I'm not on a trading post planet. Some dumb
you
fuck
might have a lot more
trading
work than
here.
normal to get off of this planet.
Yeah.
So,
but I like it. I like it. I mean, it's a really cool simulator. The only thing that bothers me is there's times when the seeding, you know, of it being a what do they call that again? That's the type of game. Procedurally generated game. It comes through. Like me knowing that it's a procedurally generated game comes through in the idea that like
start seeing like a piece. Like you recognize a piece that you see put in like a different place, and you're like, oh, I see, like I'm seeing the pieces of this. Generation.
It's like it seems like every time I slow down, there's those material rocks in space after I come out of like Pulse.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And they're always there, and I shoot them, and I'm like, I know that's just procedurally generated. I know what they're giving me. They're giving me materials to help fuel my pulse drive and shit.
Right.
So I know why they're there, but like, you know, like my mind goes to this place of where I don't really. I know this is happening only because of the procedure. Like, I'm never gonna not randomly show up somewhere and then be there. Like, they pretty much have always been there.
Right.
And then. Also, like, could you? Tell me if this is possible. If you've seen it in the game, other than built by a player, because it can exist if a player built it. I don't think with the amount of assets they're using, or the amount it can load, you're never going to find a planet that's just populated with nothing but city, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or something like that. It's always going to be like, it's never going to be advanced civilization planets. You're never going to get that.
Right.
Is that accurate?
Correct.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Because the design of the game can't do that. That's just too much. So, like...
There's building blocks with procedural generation. You know, like, you'll start to see it... what I was referencing was, like, animals, right? Like, you'll see, like, an animal will walk around and you'll go, oh, like, I recognize, like, the legs I saw on, like, a differently sized animal. Like, you'll start to see the puzzle pieces that are putting the game together.
Right.
You know, like it's a wild system. Like it has nearly endless amount of self customization to build a planet. Literally, from nowhere.
I'm complimenting it on that feat. I'm definitely complimenting it on that feat. It's just that a part of me is just like, man, this would be so much cooler if it was a giant place where it could be more than just organic stuff that I randomly.
Yeah.
I'm not really criticizing the game for that. It's just it's neat. It's a neat concept. It's pretty cool.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway.
Are you having fun with it though?
Yeah, I'm having fun with it.
You're gonna play survival?
I'm still gonna play the survival. I've gotten this far. Christ.
We'll see how long that goes.
Right.
I've toured.
I feel like you say that about every game. Like every game you play, you're like, I hate it. I'm not gonna do this. You're like, maybe I'll stay.
Well,
And then like you're in the platinum
Maybe I'll
game.
hang around.
Well, the difference with this is I'm not chasing achievements with this game. I'm not trying to finish the story. I mean,
Right.
like what it doesn't seem like this game's ever going to have like a story. It seems like it's just you make your own path, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't see it as like something that I ever just put down. It's always just going to be a game that's perpetually in forward motion.
Sure.
Right? I mean, I don't know.
I mean, it's kind of how I play it. Yeah. Like it just there's no beginning, middle, end, something like that. It just
It's like
You
do
play
I,
it.
do
Yeah,
I
like
want to
you're-
go into space and fuck around with my shit, you know?
right. Like when I play No Man's Sky, I'm working on like the planet that I found that I want to build as like the emerging gamer community planet.
Yeah, and you're building like highways and doing shit like that on it, right?
You have a whole city plan, like bridges across, these mesas that jut out of the ground. Like it's a big project. And like now that the game is crossplay and on Game Pass, like that's a reality. Like I can actually have
Yeah, I can come
guys-
visit. I can come visit.
literally just come in and plop a base down and start working on it. Like that would be fucking lit.
Yeah.
Is your
But, like,
planet hospitable?
It's very hospitable. It sometimes has very, very hot, rainy storms, but
Okay.
they're very quick.
Is it a
it's-
hot planet, a charred planet, or
No. It's like it's green and there's like this blue
Felix
grass.
has spent way too
everywhere.
much time in survival. He doesn't even know like
Right.
what
right.
casual like
He's like there's trees
inconvenient-
and animals and
I've been
Yeah,
Yeah, there's occasional like hot rain, but that's it.
it's got,
also all 5 of the planets have active police force bullshit. Aggressive police
like
force.
drones, the drones and shit.
Yeah, like two
Mhm.
or three of the planets in the 5 that are in the system I'm in. I'll land on them and they're up my ass like the minute I land. The
Yeah.
minute I start shooting that little laser gun at shit.
Well, they always will be. Yeah.
Yeah. But
Yeah, they hate
two of the reason I decided to build on the fiery charred planet that I'm on is because the police force is less of a presence. It says that they're like moderate or whatever, and I'm like, okay, fine, I'm good. Let's build it fucking here. Fuck it.
Yeah. You'll always have the Sentinels on the planet. They're like this permanently antagonistic
Yeah.
thing that's on every planet. Not everyone, but like the majority of planets. And
Is
it
there
ties
anything-
into the wider story of the game because there is like a story thread.
Is there a
As to
thing
what-
you can get to like disable them or like a tool? or
No, I
something?
wish, dude, because they do get annoying as shit. But no, they're always there.
They're always there. Yeah. It doesn't matter.
Unfortunately.
If you
Yeah.
just run away and stop actively,
Yeah,
defiling their
You
terrain.
just dig into the ground. Just like I dig a tunnel into the ground right where I'm at, and they're just like, "Where the fuck did he go?" And then they're just, I'm gone. I'm good.
Yeah, you use the what's that
I
called?
take my terrain gun out, and I just dig
the
a tunnel
terrain
underneath
gun,
me, and
yeah,
I
yeah.
go into the ground. And I'm like, I'll wait till they're done. looking
Diamond, you eventually unlock the ability to make this gun that just digs into the terrain, and it's like I guess that's the Minecraft side of the game coming through.
Oh yeah.
Where
perchance.
yeah,
I mean, they've added wild shit to this game since it came out, dude. Like this game came out as the most busted, like piece of overhyped garbage, and it turned into this insane, just like your whatever potential you can think about, you can make happen in this game. Like they just put a MIDI synthesizer in this game a couple months ago. Like you can sit there and make loops, make beats in this game.
Fucking
do you have a take on
like,
this, Diamond?
no. All I know is No Man's Sky went from being on the box of a PlayStation sold in some store to PlayStation not talking about it to now everyone has it. So like, I mean, it's a nice journey for Sean Murray and the guys and gals at Hello
Sean.
Games. But I mean, it's out.
But
And,
you never had an interest in it.
I mean, I've played it, but it's never been. It's like people who really love Minecraft.
Right.
I understand it, but it is not my cup of tea personally. I've
Got it.
tried it, but it's never. Originally, they were so loose with the narrative. I'm a very narrative driven player. Like if I can understand the why behind something, then I can get behind it. So when the game kind of shows up and says there is no why, just kind of find a way to explore the universe, that's a little too much freedom for my taste. So when No Man's Sky Next and Beyond and all these kind of expansions came out to kind of refine the experience and take whatever narrative they did have and kind of put it a little more on the forefront, it makes it a little more palatable. So like I have a save file, but I play it. I don't play it very often. So.
Just wonder. Yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted to talk about. Still trying to finish the Red Dead Redemption 2 story. Now I'm getting close to finishing Chapter 4. So
Dutch.
Yeah, I'm finishing the chapter where you meet the Italian guy in Saint Denis. So I'm just coming up to the conclusion of that. I want to see what happens. It's going to be great. Whatever, we'll see.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
Yeah, just doing that. Oh, I also replayed on Super Easy. I replayed the Star Wars: The Fallen Order. But that's
just
with
taking it for what it is.
No, that's my watch of like all of the Star Wars content in chronological order, and that's considered canon content. So I went right to that after I finished Order 66. So
you're gonna get some more canon content in the fall. So
yeah, now I'm what's coming out in the fall again?
Squadrons.
Yeah.
Oh, the trailer did drop.
That
dude.
did
Looks
drop.
really
Is that going to be a story, or is it going to be like Battlefront only with?
I think
ships?
it's both. I think there's a narrative.
If it has a story, I want it. I definitely want it. Yeah. But if it's just Battlefront,
I love the space combat from Battlefront.
Right,
so
right.
I'm all about it.
And that's probably what the engine's going to be based on, right?
100%.
Yeah.
It's Motive, which is using DICE's engine. So
okay, got it.
So yeah.
That's it. That's all.
Cool. Yeah. Do you want to hop into pretty much the story?
Yes.
Of the week.
The big story.
Pokemon Snap. No, I'm just kidding.
Yep. It's finally coming to the Switch.
Let's spend the next hour and a half talking about Pokemon Snap, guys. I'll tell you what.
I'm very excited about Pokemon Snap and new Rogue Squadron. And
yes,
there's like a little cafe Pokemon game that got dropped alongside of that too.
Yeah. This is just Pokemon Cafe. It's like Charmander sliding drinks across tables.
Another Rogue Squadron? What?
It was a joke because the game is like I love Rogue Squadron on the 64 and
the new Star Wars game is
it's just Rogue Squadron.
Redux.
It's just
right.
A really nice looking. Yeah.
I mean, if they put half the story that they put into the game I just played, I mean, it's going to be great.
Probably not.
But it doesn't seem like they're going to. I mean,
probably not.
It seems like a cash grab.
Probably.
Okay. We don't know nothing about the game but a trailer, but it's probably
all we got was the trailer, but it's got EA on it. It's like
I'm Mr. Speculation here. Sorry, Trip.
Let's dive in to what we saw last. God, what even was that? Was that a Thursday? That was a Thursday. Last Thursday. Yeah. The PlayStation 5 had its big reveal event. We saw the console, literally. Mm-hmm. Saw a bunch of trailers with a lot of gameplay. We saw, very Apple-esque, fancy deep dives into some of the technology and videos and close-ups of the gear and stuff like that. So we finally got everything we wanted to know about the console, except, of course, the price. And we're still waiting to hear about that. But we know almost all of it.
The news articles about the price are all over the place, man.
I know.
Yeah. I've seen as high as $750 and as low as.
Where is Jason Schreier's investigative reporting when you need it? Apparently,
yeah, I know.
People are saying this thing's going to be $800. Some former consumer VP for Microsoft said it'll be no more than $400, and I was like,
"Come on, bro."
Nah, come on.
No more than $400. It's.
I think it'll be. I have no evidence for this. I think it'll be $449, $499. That's my opinion.
They got to have a 99 in the price. Consoles don't release.
That's what I'm saying. $449, $499.
Yeah.
I'm thinking $499, $599. I think it's going to hit $600 with tax, at least with American doll hairs.
Yep.
That's what the PS3 was, and PS3 had no business being $600. when
No,
it came
but
out.
I read an article. It's funny you said that. I read an article that specifically stated, was it the PS3 or the PS4, where they felt that they got like bit by it. Like, I can't. One of those two consoles.
Expensive consoles never do well in the market.
Right.
Historically, doesn't mean they can't.
No, but I'm saying this article specifically stated that either the PS3 or the PS4, Sony felt that they got bit by it. Like, they publicly stated, we made a mistake on that. That price was too high when it came out.
$600.
Do you remember which one it was?
It was the original one because it had
It was the PS3 or the PS4?
Yeah, the original PS3 was $600, and the promo for it was the Blu-ray drive.
Oh, I see. Yeah, so that must have been the one.
It was presented as a multi-purpose system.
Right.
They're
trying to package home entertainment too early.
Yeah,
I mean, I think it was the right time, but I don't think gamers wanted that at the time.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
it wasn't-
Home entertainment, it being a device. You know what? It's hilarious. Gamers didn't come to of age yet. Like right now, they're marketing to gamers that are our age or my age or whatever, who have kids who like the game industry is so young that there wasn't a crop of 40-year-old gamers who were like
who had money
to burn when that console came out. Right now, there's a crop of 40, maybe even 50, probably not 50, but at least 40 something, 30 something, 20 something, and teens all buying. Right.
Yeah.
And there wasn't that before. There wasn't with the PS3. So maybe now would be the time to aim for a higher price because maybe they would. But then again, they might also.
They're much smarter about the presentation. Think about it. The last two console generations were started with companies trying to present consoles as something more than what they became. The PlayStation was a Blu-ray player on top of a gaming experience that, if you remember, had PlayStation Home, a social media experience as a gaming application. Right? That was the presentation of the PlayStation 3. Then the following generation, PlayStation learns their lesson, and Microsoft comes out and says, our console is a multi-entertainment system that will integrate itself with your cable package. Whoever the hell has that anymore.
They wanted you to put your HDMI out from your cable box into your Xbox and turn that box on only in your living room.
Like we used to do with the VCR.
Like we used to do. So they were like, hey, let's integrate this and you'll be able to check your TV and whatever the case may be. And even that was at a reasonable price. And console sales dictated that no one was interested in a system that does anything more than what it's supposed to do. Just play games. Fast forward now, what is the conversation you're hearing? PlayStation is the core gaming experience and Xbox is the pinnacle gaming experience. It's just pure games 100% of the time. Like that's the presentation. And so I think you're right that they're presenting to a generation of people that historically have burned a lot of money into games that they would be okay burning it now.
Right. Yeah.
So you're not wrong.
Let's talk about the design a little bit, guys. Do you like it? Are you into it?
Are we talking about the memes created from the design, or are we talking about the design?
The memes are really good.
You enjoy it.
There's a guy who found a fan, like a house fan that just turns, that has the exact same color and the exact same look of it. He took a picture of it. It says PlayStation 5. He didn't even have to doctor the photo.
Yeah. No, there have been fantastic memes about the design of this. One of my personal favorites, someone put a PlayStation 2 in a white binder, and the white binder is open, and you see the little fold out left and right with the black console in the middle.
Mine is they took the character from Yu-Gi-Oh! And they put his head on top of the system.
Oh, with his little pointy fucking
with the pointy.
Yeah. Yep, absolutely.
It's, I don't know. It's possible that it might be too tall for the area. I've you've been to my place.
That's the big thing.
Yeah.
Someone put it side by side. Apparently, I don't know how they got a hold of this. It is twice as big, apparently, as a current Xbox One, like the thin model, and it's like 12 times the size of a Nintendo Switch.
In terms of what height?
in terms of just size.
Oh,
Like height is just the width of it, because the Xbox and the PlayStation were standing upright.
Right.
And it's already enough that the PlayStation has at least another third of height over a current Xbox standing up. But with the disc drive, the version with the disc drive, it's fat. Like it's huge.
It's a thick console.
So
for sure.
that's the thing for me, that like we're now entering an era where game consoles look like PCs. Like,
well, I was talking.
like,
I forget who I was talking with, but we were talking about just the design aesthetic, right? And I think both the PlayStation is trending this way, and so is the Xbox Series X. People are making their consoles to not be hidden as much as they did in the past. Like, people are making technology to fit into your home aesthetically in certain ways, and almost make it look like something that's supposed to be there next to your TV intentionally, or in the middle of your table. Like, think about your Google Homes, your Apple HomePod, like your Apple TV, this console, especially like a sleek black version, that would look at home next to like a vase, the console, like a HomePod. Like, you've got all these things that just like don't look that bad next to each other, and they all look like random ambiguous tech, which I think is just like the vibe they're going for. Like, they're not just boring black boxes anymore. So they're putting a lot of effort into making the thing look catchy, but not too flashy. Just like a little bit of like aesthetically decorating your room.
Do you remember the Onion News Network when they did the video? Onion News Network? And they,
video about what?
They did the one that was it was like a guy standing outside of interviewing people outside of Best Buy, or it was clearly a Best Buy in the background, but they didn't have the brand. And he's like, I'm really excited to get. And the article is, guy buys stupid fucking piece of shit that he doesn't know what to do with. Stupid. And like the whole article is like people just going, yeah, I don't even know why I buy this piece of shit. It's just fucking here, and it's available, and and it's big, and it's got a lot of like lights on it.
What is it? The VP of the UX design team said that the outside of the system, the white, I don't even know what to call it, flaps, whatever the hell it is,
the coat.
The outside of the system, I actually think that the core part of the PlayStation is the internal black piece. That essentially everything else is just a shell, so that when they come up with like a collector's edition of whatever game, they
slap
can just slap a new shell on it, and the inside is the same, and they change the LED to whatever the game. Because they showed the Miles Morales, which we'll get to in a second. The Spider-Man Miles Morales version is black with red LED. Same interior in terms of that black kind of frame, but the outside is now black with the Spider-Man logo. So the idea is just to make it the manufacturing as easy as possible, so that every game that they have coming out can have some type of special edition for it.
I would agree. Yeah. It does look like a little bit of a design aesthetic, like it directs the airflow out of there, but again, that could still be just like reslotted very easily. So I think you're dead on about the design aesthetic of this. I think the controller, personally, if we're talking about design of the console and the experience, I'm excited about the controller overall.
I think it looks nice.
It looks nice. It feels better, or it looks like it would feel better. I don't like, there's things like adaptive triggers, which finally we're getting on the PlayStation. It'll be nice. The new haptics will be nice. I just hope this leads to a pro level controller with more input options, the way that Xbox and Microsoft have put out their very well made pro controller, so we don't have to rely on like a scuff. Like, flip that around. Look at all the things. Look at all of the things. When Lock and Key got his and brought it to our show, I felt the weight of this thing, and like the clickiness of the button.
Insanely heavy, dude.
That's the nicest piece of gaming technology that I felt by a primary brand to go along with their console, and I want one for Sony so badly.
I sent the Onion News video link to both of you through text, and the article title is "Sony releases stupid piece of shit that doesn't fucking work."
Can we talk about games? Because I gotta rail on something.
Because they dropped a lot of them. We're not going to go through all of them, obviously. So if you're listening to us later, search online. There's compilations of all the trailers. There's people's favorite lists. There's a lot of cool surprises, a lot of things you were expecting. There's a lot. We're going to highlight some of our favorites for sure, but don't sleep. Go and check this out because there's a lot coming out in the fall for sure. At least what we've heard about now, and I'm sure we'll hear more later. Go ahead.
Rockstar. Why?
Oh, it was so bad. It was so fucking awful.
Why?
What the fuck, dude?
Why?
Seriously, like what the fuck?
I don't understand.
Talk about reinventing the motherfucking cash grab.
I have never.
They keep redefining their cash grab.
Loving to absolutely despising a game the way I have Grand Theft Auto 5.
Yeah, won't play it ever again.
I love Grand Theft Auto 5. And the fact that it is now on, it is at the start of a showcase for a new system.
It crosses 3 console generations, which I think, has there been any other game that does that? That has done that? I don't think so.
Not unless Todd Howard decides to take Skyrim and fucking throw it on this bitch.
Can you imagine he's Xbox?
Does that?
That's what I was expecting. I was expecting the Rockstar thing to come up, and then all of a sudden Todd Howard is on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm clear. So I'm clear on the specifics. So there's a couple things I'm clear on. The game is releasing as is with some kind of claimed digital enhancement, which is total bullshit. Right? That's one way.
My guess is 60 frames, and
sure.
And
is there something where you can earn like money too if you keep playing between now and then?
That's what they always do. They're like, get $1 million in GTA in-game currency in order. Like,
I started getting these because I downloaded the game on the Epic Store when it was free like a week or two ago. So they're really
like notifications, like
yeah.
But yeah.
So
it's my assumption is 60 frame 4K.
Okay, so that's one way it's releasing, and then in addition to that, they're just going to release as a separate cheaper buy or same price or just the online. You can buy a standalone online version of the game.
Mm-hmm. Completely backwards. Rockstar apparently does not want to do stories anymore. They just want.
I agree, and I've made this statement while playing GTA Online, and I say this about Red Dead Online that it is true. Like that entire side of the game is its own game. It should have probably been its own game because it is. But like, I don't know, man. To release that,
it's a money machine at this point. They're just
something's free though. What's releasing free? I heard free in there. There's something that's coming for free. What was being released for free?
I don't know.
Did they say you get the copy if you own it? Like on the current generation?
I don't know. I don't know the details, but I heard that there was going to be something that was going to be available for free.
All I know is I saw it and I had an aneurysm when I saw it.
Maybe it's free to people who already bought the game on a previous console.
Maybe
that's what I'm saying.
I blacked out and I missed a quarter of the show. So
yeah, it did lasting damage.
You know what's hilarious? And I never even thought that this could be like a problem. My friend who's a former passionate GTA Online player, Jay Prince, who now is a passionate Red Dead Online player, among other games. He plays a lot of different games. But like, we were playing Red Dead, and he was going on, and he was mentioning to me, he's like, I'm so pissed about this announcement. And I'm like, why? He's like, because all it means is that Rockstar is putting zero effort in the development further of Red Dead Online. Like he's like, we've been waiting for more content for Red Dead Online for months, and they're putting their efforts into this fucking 2013 bullshit game that's making them all this money, and I'm pissed as shit about it because I know I'm not going to see Red Dead content for a long fucking time. He's like, they're just putting more and more effort into a game from 2013, and I think that he keeps saying, he's like, I think it's total fucking bullshit what they're doing. Because he wants to see them. It's no different than the conversation you have with the Bethesda. Oh, you just released Skyrim again, or where's fucking Elder Scrolls 6? You know what I mean? Like, or with the Kingdom Hearts shit. Like, Where's our next Kingdom Hearts game? You know, like you just keep giving us 2.5 of what you've already been working on. There was a feature that was data mined in GTA Online that I read about a long time ago. It was like one of those articles, clickbait. You click on it, where they're like possibility of GTA 6 or some kind of story content in the future coming to GTA Online. And there was a brilliant concept in that data mine that may come to fruition or something. Maybe they couldn't do it because they realized the current console gen didn't have the power to do it. They were implying that eventually, in order to make GTA 6, you were just going to get an airline ticket in GTA 5, in the online, in other words. You know, you would go to that airport that's in the game, you would get on a plane and would fly you to another map. And I was like, yeah, just fucking do it that way. You know what I mean? Yeah, you can keep your game going on forever, but all you're doing is just making the world bigger, right? Just giving us more places to go. And I was like, I'll come back to the game if they ever do that. They're not doing that. It doesn't look like they're doing that. Or maybe we'll see it this gen, but like, you know, like
I do not care less about what goes on.
Couldn't care.
Yeah.
About
I was just so frustrated that Sony was like, here's the new system. Here you go.
Something from 2013
Oh
to
my
run
God.
on it. Yeah.
I almost lost it. Yeah. And they had the nerve to put like story mode cutscenes in there. I'm like, come on.
Exactly.
You're not doing this because people are like, oh man, I really want to play as Michael and Trevor and Franklin all over again. Nobody is doing that. Come on.
There's definitely some like executive who saw that it was making them a lot of money or knows it makes them money and says, let's at least
100%.
tell people, don't worry, you can still play this on the new console. And here is how it's going to happen. Now that you know you can still give us money for this game on the new box you're going to buy, here's the rest of the things coming out.
Yep.
Like,
that's fine. Is what it is.
Or there were 3 people, that's all that's left, who haven't bought that game. There's 3 people who are like
3 random
holy
accounts.
shit, I plan to buy the new PlayStation 5 and I've always wanted to try GTA.
You know what statement I've never heard before in my life? Have you heard of this game, Grand Theft Auto? Have you heard of this?
Have you heard of this?
I've never heard of this.
What is this?
I've never heard of my entire life.
Never heard of that game. What the fuck?
But okay. Actual
favorite game that you saw?
Diamond. Go
That you're
ahead.
excited for?
Oh, bro, I can't even.
I have one.
It's Miles.
Yeah.
Miles Morales DLC expansion, not expansion, full game, whatever the hell it is. Apparently, Sony and Insomniac can't agree to whatever's happening. So 2 comments. One, I have to say this only because I was very intrigued once the trailer started.
Mm-hmm.
And I could see that it was Miles. I was like, holy shit. I already know they're working on a game based on a couple people that I know that are playtesting things. So I already know that. So what is this experience in particular? And Sony said it is DLC. And I was like,
So Sony said that? So that's
Sony said it was DLC for the game.
originally. Or
That it was just DLC for Spider-Man PS4.
Sony said that to your friends who were playtesting.
Sony announced to everyone in an article after they were interviewed
what they showed that this was DLC.
that this was DLC.
They also said that it wasn't ambiguous. I mega fucking disagree, but they wanted you to understand it was a DLC concept.
They wanted you to understand it was DLC. I immediately responded like, ooh, given what's happening in 2020, it might not be a good look to relegate this character to like a 40-minute DLC.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Right? That's not a good look. So a day later, Insomniac comes out and says, no, this is a standalone game. They said it's a standalone game. that we were working on within the PS4 Spider-Man engine that we wanted to tell in between two releases.
Yeah, and I heard very similar. We probably were reading from the same sources. I heard very similar things. The thing that I'm thinking of, though, is both could be right in the sense that they don't have to do a lot of work. It's not like they're changing engines. They didn't flip.
In terms of effort, you're correct.
Right.
I don't think much has changed.
The whole city is fucking built. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
so immediately after that, Sony comes out and then says it's an expansion. So then they start using a different word from what they were using before, which causes Insomniac to then come out again. And they had the most recent article where they akined it to Uncharted: The Lost Legacy that featured Chloe instead of Nathan Drake.
Well, to be honest with you, I played that, and that was like a pretty full game.
That's its own game.
Yeah.
It is a shorter game compared to a Nathan Drake adventure. I think it's only, I think I beat it in 8-9 hours compared to Uncharted, which I can do in about 15 to 20.
Yeah.
So it is a shorter game, but it's still its own thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of came to the conclusion that regardless of the circumstance, one, I think it's amusing that the publisher and the developer are not on the same page as to what to call this thing. And two, I want to applaud Insomniac for committing to what their original vision in Spider-Man on the PS4. The original vision was, you are Peter Parker, but we are Miles exists in this world. He's a part of this story. We want to continue to use him going forward. Insomniac didn't just decide to include Miles because he's a person of color and just make a game 2 weeks ago because of what's happening.
No,
this was concrete part of their plan. And so to see that they're putting content out for this Spider-Man is a big win for me. You mentioned a little earlier, Trip, that like superhero games isn't necessarily up your wheelhouse, but for me, I love them and I'm constantly disappointed by them. But this was the first one that I was like, holy shit, I'm enjoying every facet of this. Like the old Batman games might be the only other one, but I've played a ton of like X-Men games and like the Ultimate Alliance 2 and even the most but they're all experiences that I could be disappointed by. So this is the defining one for me. And so to see support not only from Insomniac but from a publisher to say we want this to be a staple, like a wheelhouse title for us, is a big deal.
And it wasn't until you got to the third. Was it 3 Batman games? The Arkham Knight, was that the third one?
Technically it was.
Oh yeah.
Origins, which was on
fourth one.
Yeah.
But the one was an origin story. But the third game, it wasn't until the third game where we saw the bigger world, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you got to Arkham Knight, and when you started traveling around the city of Arkham City, you start to see signs for like LexCorp, and you started imagining, whoa, these developers either are putting Easter eggs or they have a possible chance to make a Superman game one day. And that's when all those rumors sparked that company, Rocksteady, was possibly working on a Superman game because we saw LexCorp show up. This game did the exact same fucking shit, but not on the third title. It was on the very first title. You traveled around that city. You saw like Doctor Strange's fucking lair. You saw like, the fucking Stark Tower was in the middle of the city and shit. So there were there was this world building that they did that gave you in your head the possibility that they could turn this one game into a franchise of fucking awesome Marvel games. Like they could have.
And I think the amazing part with that, and this is kind of my ultimate point, is like if you think about Arkham Knight, I remember Arkham Knight being shown on the Microsoft stage. It didn't have Microsoft's logo. It didn't have it was there to showcase the technology that was available at the time. It was there because there was an agreement between Warner Brothers and this, because Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor was up there as well. This game, the publisher, the console maker views this game as valuable and is allowing Insomniac to make the game that they want, because historically they've done that. We also saw another game I'm excited about is Ratchet and Clank. The fact that Ratchet and Clank is coming back for no other reason other than the fact that Insomniac wants to make this game. That's it. No one is going out on the internet and is pitchforking, obsessing for Ratchet and Clank. But Sony knows that Insomniac wants to make this because it's an art style that they love and they feel that it appeals to a large base. And Sony is saying, go make it. And we will put it on the front page to that we trust the vision of what they're putting together to sell their system. So in this day and age, and this is where kind of the crossroads come together, in this day and age where Miles Morales, who now has a popular movie as a character under his belt, can be introduced to the gaming world, and for the gaming world to lose their shit over it, and to have the console creator say you're on the front, we're plastering you all over this thing, is a big deal. And it resonates with me as a fan of the character and of the world and all that. So it was a big deal for me to see, like, hey, this is his own thing. Even if Sony didn't get the jargon right, it was a big deal.
I mean, I like to think that if all goes well, we'll also see him in the cinema. So that's what I hope. That'd be great.
Fingers crossed. But yeah, Spider-Man for me.
Felix, what do you think?
Spider-Man's a given, but that's just a game that I already played the original, and I know I definitely want to play the continuation of that story or whatever.
Sure.
I'm going to mention one that caught me kind of sideways and then was like, wow, I didn't even know this game was being developed. Because, like, I had seen, like, the early stuff for Ghostwire, and, you know, I knew there was some kind of Spider-Man thing in the works. Honestly, the thing that caught me off guard that I was like, that's fucking weird, is the Stray game. Like, where he plays a cat in the future. Yeah. And that takes me back to Tokyo Jungle. And I'm like,
there we go.
You know, is there a developer, like one guy who made it from the Tokyo Jungle team who made this suggestion? He's like, remember the concept of Tokyo Jungle? Let's just take one animal this time, a cat. He's in the future. All the humans are gone, and we'll fucking make a whole game.
I think it was literally called Stray.
What?
I think that was Stray. I think it was literally called Stray.
The game, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I said.
Oh, did you say the game? Oh, I thought you just said that game where you're a cat. Where
no,
you are
I said
no. He said it.
I said the game Stray, the game where you get to play as a cat. Yeah, that's what. But like, it's very post-apocalyptic. I think there was a sign in some of the footage that said the humans are all gone or something like that. Where are you humans or something like that? And it's just like a world populated by robots, and then this cat is just running around the world.
Chilling, dude.
And I think it would be cool if it was open world, and I could just. It's a very vertical game where you can climb on a bunch of shit and figure out where stuff is. That would be cool.
Cyberpunk X Tokyo Jungle.
Yeah. Cyberpunk meets Tokyo Jungle. I'm excited.
Big fan of this new Hello Kitty, man. It's a huge step forward for them, I think.
Oh, you're saying this is for the original creators of Hello Kitty.
The original creators of Hello Kitty comes Stray.
And then you just hear, "Hello Kitty." It's like some kind of fucking robot. Hello Kitty. Some shit. Oh fuck.
The cat brushes up against someone's legs. I thought it was up, and it's Keanu Reeves.
I got two cats. Oh man, I love that movie. Keanu. I love that fucking movie, dude.
There it is.
He played the voice of the cat in that.
Full circle, everybody. Holy.
So weird. It was such a weird movie. Yeah.
So Stray.
Stray.
Yeah. Stray.
It's a weird concept. Cool.
Yeah. I was really excited for Ghostwire Tokyo, and I like seeing more of that, like a new era kind of BioShock reminded me. But I think what I have to put ahead of that, because I knew that was probably going to be talked about and excited for it, I think Kino gets me very excited. Kino was like the girl casting all those like magic spells, and like the grass turned from like dead to living under her feet, and there was like like a Pixar movie, but like you had all these like these abilities and spells to fight multiple enemies, and there was so much going on. It looked so good.
Was it turn-based? Do you think?
I have no idea. They just showed it, gameplay trailers really. But Keno, Keno, was the title, and that I think grabbed my attention the most out of all the trailers they played. Very excited for that one. But yeah, anything else you guys want to mention about the console?
I was originally hoping that, and this is thematically interesting, that like the circumstances with COVID would force organizations to think about the way we take content in differently. So a really good example is I'm scrolling through Facebook, and I think I've told this story on here before. I'm scrolling through Facebook and I pause, and Le Mans was on, 24 Hours of Le Mans. I'm watching it. And this is the first time in my very long gaming career that I stopped for a moment and I went, wait a second, what the hell is this? And I looked, and it was Gran Turismo. It was like the Pro Series for Gran Turismo. It was just people driving, and my eyes hadn't told my brain that this was a video game. I just assumed that it was real life.
We've talked about this on the show a couple times. Since quarantine started, the racing world immediately embraced video games.
Exactly. So for me, my expectation or my hope was that the digital racing scene, especially now that the next Gran Turismo is coming out, is going to explode. I think. I mean, obviously NASCAR is already back in I don't whatever racetracks, and a lot of people are now back in the physical kind of era of sports, but like racing was the one that I was like, oh, this feels like a no-brainer. That like the digital experience of racing would be so much more adaptable than say FIFA.
Dude, it was
because
like
there's such a stark wall between the experience of FIFA as a game versus FIFA as a as like real life. Like it's a very different experience.
It was
Gran Turismo is not the case.
Yeah, like the I don't even think the skill set you use to dribble a ball is the same as what you use to play FIFA as a master player. It's probably different.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
But like racing in the digital space, like they have rigs that they sit in that give them tactile feedback based on where they're driving. It's
at that point from driving with all the shit they're sitting.
Exactly. All the sensory information they're getting is almost the same.
Yeah.
So the fact that PlayStation is saying, hey, our new system's coming out, and guess what? Brand new Gran Turismo is coming out. I'm interested to see if that genre of sporting takes a whole life of its own now that we've seen it. The public has seen it. Like it's one thing for like racing fans to see it in the corner of Twitch for 5,000 people to watch,
right.
But 80,000 people were watching a NASCAR race done digitally. 200,000 people were watching a European racing circuit done through Gran Turismo. Like it's becoming its own thing. So I'm interested to see if that takes on a life of its own.
Yeah,
I'm probably ignorant on this fact, but I just wanted to ask: was there a Gran Turismo for PS4? Because I don't remember there being one.
So there was Gran Turismo Prologue, which eventually became like whatever I think it's 6 is what that was.
Prologue was out on the PlayStation 3 though. I remember
Prologue was the transition. Yeah, they had made it using tech that they were going to use for the future system, but it was a much smaller game.
Diamond, which racing game is the one that's an exclusive?
What Gran Turismo? Gran Turismo is only on the PlayStation.
Oh, only on the PlayStation.
Oh, okay. I thought you're also thinking of the Xbox one. They have
Forza is on the Xbox.
That's an exclusive to Xbox.
Xbox, yeah.
Got it.
I remember Gran Turismo was the first.
So they've always been segregated like that?
It's okay, Felix.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Gran Turismo was the very first PlayStation game I ever played. When I bought my first PlayStation, which was the PS2, I bought the bundle that had A-Spec in it. And I was like, holy shit, man. This is so realistic, this game. So much focus on physics and propulsion. And I know nothing about cars, but I could feel how realistic all of it was. And I played that more than I ever thought that I was going to play it. I just bought the PlayStation that I just found at a store. Like it wasn't any more expensive than just a base model. It was like the only bundle they sold. Didn't even care. I was going to buy it and buy Final Fantasy X when it came out. That's all I just wanted the box, and I got it. And I played this racing game because I had it, and I was like, dude, this is mind blowing. So I might actually dip back in and scoop some Gran Turismo for PlayStation 5.
2 other games. I got enough time? 2 other games?
Sure. Yeah.
Horizon.
Oh,
Ooh.
fuck yeah.
Oof.
I don't know when we're gonna get it, but it's
what is the official title again?
out.
Horizon something West.
Forbidden West.
Forbidden West. Yeah.
I heard March 2021. I saw on the internet today, floating around somewhere.
That would make. I mean, I think Zero Dawn came out in March.
It did. It came
right
out
around like Breath of the Wild.
week before Breath of the Wild.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, because I remember we were having conversations about the competition between the two
and how similar they were. Yeah.
Yeah.
Still, I'm still waiting for the first one to come on PC. So like that's what I'm waiting for.
Any day now.
Diamond, did you ever play that DLC for it?
No, I didn't. It's a game that I've Minecraft Diamond pickaxed my way through every like once every 3 months. I'll play for an hour. I'm getting further and further along. The only other one was, and I know it's out of left field, but Hitman 3. I don't know if you guys know the Hitman community, the players that play Hitman love Hitman and Hitman 2. I stumbled upon like the Hitman Reddit, and it is full of like crazy passionate players that are trying to figure out the best ways to kill enemies in that game. They're throwing suitcases, they're jumping off of buildings, they're getting people caught in like balloon floats and really just crazy over the top ways to kill enemies in that game. And I went onto the Reddit, and when that game showed up in the PlayStation showcase, it was as if like New Year's Eve happened. Yeah. People were celebrating. Like I've never seen a community like this around a game like this before.
Do you remember how betrayed that community felt when?
Oh yeah,
when the development team that did Hitman decided to do fucking what do they call it again? The episodic content.
Mm-hmm.
And they were releasing these.
Tried to break it up into seasons, and people were not having it.
It wasn't there one where you had to assassinate Gary Busey.
You could, yes.
Yeah, one of them was like kill Gary Busey. I'm like, what the fuck are they doing?
It's such a weird community, but it's like
Gary Busey reached out and he was like, kill them.
It's insane to me. But like seeing a Hitman game, I love the diversity in the play space. I love the how the worlds are built for replayability. Players can essentially play the same mission but find 12 different ways to take out their target, and they've just built upon that. Actions have consequences. Like it's really it's a design you don't see very often. I equate it to Mordor's Nemesis system without the NPC. Like take that same concept and just make it the entire game's mechanic, where anything you do can come back and bite you in the ass. And so like to see it get on a stage at that point, especially because Crystal Dynamics has been working Square Enix has been working with that game for a long time. So like to see it there is really
Hitman cool. Series is published by Square Enix?
Yeah.
Oh, I never even knew that.
It actually, I know it was. Someone might have bought the rights to it. Okay. Now that I think about it.
Yeah, I don't have a clue, but
yeah, I've never played one of those series, but I saw that trailer and I was like, maybe now's the time.
I bought all of them. I bought all of those games.
Yeah, they do seem like really fun. Just it's like a puzzle. It's just a puzzle room, but I mean the solution is killing someone, and you just figure out different ways to do it.
Yeah,
it is IO Interactive. IO Interactive used to be owned by Sony. It is now, or used to be owned by Square Enix. It's now a Sony-owned property.
Oh, hence why they announced it.
Hence why they announced it.
I bought one of them and played maybe I played the whole game. I don't fucking know. I
played
remember...
all of the first one, and then when the second one came out and they announced the episodes is when I stopped playing. I never went back, but people have said if you go back, it's phenomenal.
So I got on this like game kick with Mafia stuff, and I don't remember what console I was on. Maybe on the Mafia 2 did not come out on OG Xbox, right? It came out on so that would have been like
360.
360. So it must have been in my period of time owning a 360. I got on this kick. I bought, it definitely was 360. I bought a Hitman package with a couple of games that had like 3 in 1. And then I bought Godfather 1. Remember that game? And Godfather 2. And then I bought Mafia 2, I believe. All those games, all in this like period of like 6 months. And
I love how Felix's purchasing styles are thematic.
Oh, super thematic.
You said there was a connection.
There's always a theme when I buy stuff. Yeah, I'm like buying all this stuff. Right now I'm on a Star Wars kick.
Hysterical, dude.
Right?
Yeah.
Who knows if I'll be on a Star Wars kick when that Squadron game comes out? I might not. I might be past it.
Never know.
But
do you have to be to play it?
Yeah. I mean, I have to be into that shit at that moment. You know what I mean? Like if I'm not, there's no reason to bother. So I'm on this kick, and I started playing whatever the first Hitman was in this trilogy thing that I bought. And I started playing it. Diamond, are you frozen?
No.
I literally thought you were frozen
I'm not.
for a second. Anyway, I was playing it. And then I moved over to the Godfather game, and it was more like this open world game where you drove around in cars like in GTA. And I lost interest in Hitman and never went back. And played the Godfather game to full completion. Loved it. And then
said he played Godfather more than
that game taught me more about the Godfather than the original movies. Because it took all of this lore from the Godfather and expanded on it and added all these different, the family names that were mentioned in the Godfather in passing, the other families, the ones that were fighting against the help me out. I forgot. The fucking Corleone family. Family. I got it. I caught up.
No, you're talking about the Godfather.
But,
and we're at an hour and 45 minutes.
Okay, I'm almost done. But it expanded on the lore of the other families. I loved it. Anyway, I'm done. I'll stop.
I'll tell you,
I'll
man.
just fucking shut up.
There's no way to test the commitment of a chat than 2 hours into a podcast talk show deciding you want to dive into Godfather lore of all.
It's so true, dude.
I wasn't totally derailing. I was.
Podcast chat is.
We usually do this, but because one of our hosts is in the chat, we're going to bring up a little mini discussion on Pragmata. He wants to hear our thoughts about Pragmata. Do you guys remember this trailer? This is the one with like the space.
This is the astronaut walking through Times Square and. Yeah. Okay.
I don't know if I watched that one.
I feel like the minute that I saw Death Stranding, which was like, the fuck does any of this mean? And then skip.
You know what Death Stranding taught me? If immediately right off the bat, if you're hitting me with some type of nuanced, like deep level shit, I'll wait until you show me gameplay. Like I'm not interested in your
because your general opinion of it, you didn't like the game.
There's not enough to know anything at this point.
No, I'm saying the ultimate result was you watched the trailer, you were interested, and then you played Death Stranding, you didn't enjoy it, or you did?
No, they showed me, I started watching the trailer. I didn't know what it was, so I didn't care. Therefore, when it came out, I still didn't care, even though when I played it, I enjoyed it.
I see.
So anytime I'm approached with some type of nuanced, like Guillermo del Toro-esque, like really artistic, so like a better example, Xbox Showcase, they did a trailer for this game coming out called The Medium, which is like this person that obviously they're a medium, they can commune with both planes of existence, and it was portraying itself in this very interesting way. And then I realized it was a CG trailer and checked out.
Yep.
So Pragmata didn't do much for me because I was like, okay, this is funky.
I know.
I'll wait until
They
I see
co-op
more.
the Death Stranding vibe, and I'm gonna wait to see literally anything more. But I was excited for Resident Evil 8. That was a slow roll, and that got me fucking excited as shit.
I'm intrigued. They've taken Chris Redfield and they've made him something. I don't recognize him anymore.
Heroic, yeah.
I totally
Definitely.
100%. I don't think I want to play Resident Evil in first person.
I loved 7.
See, I'm the flip. I love 7, dude.
I was scared out of my mind, but I loved 7 so much.
Huh.
Loved it.
Yeah, Resident Evil 6 ruined the third person experience for me. I didn't like 6 so much. So, but then they did 7, and it was such a breath of fresh air.
Garbage on fire. So it's all right. We can just forget it exists.
What?
6.
6.
Oh, 6? Oh yeah. 7 is like I always want to like the Outlast games, like the scary Outlast games, but they don't give you guns, so I don't play them.
True.
Like the moment they were like, "Oh, here's Outlast. You can walk around with a camcorder." I was like, "No."
Yeah.
No.
So all I do is watch.
Not interested.
Running at me. Yeah. I can.
Microsoft was like, "We'll give this to you as part of your Game Pass," and I was like, "No, I don't want it. I'm gonna go play Resident Evil." Ethan is walking around with a pump action shotgun, blasting people's faces off. I'll take that.
I feel like I'll do a replay this Halloween. Surprisingly myself. Yeah.
I love
that game, but now I'm like, I'm ready. I think.
But yeah, I don't recognize Chris Redfield in there,
Yeah.
so he's a favorite character of mine. So he's turned in. He looks questionable.
The way the trailer started, it had Resident Evil vibes a little bit, but it looked very much like ambiguous horror game in a mansion, and also like for some reason it reminded me of Devil May Cry, and I was like, I'm not sure what we're actually seeing.
I thought it was Bloodborne 2, to be honest.
That was also possible.
I was like, this is Bloodborne 2, and then all of a sudden Ethan was talking, and I was like, what is happening? What is going on here?
Yeah.
Village.
Yeah, that's what it's called.
I'm not a fan of them shaping titles around words that have sharp lines in them so they can use.
Graphic design is my passion.
I guarantee you, someone was like, the next game is going to be called Village. It has a V and 3 sharp lines, so I can make the 8 out of it.
It seems to also conjure up M. Night. It's a horror game.
Yes, I like to tell myself that they came up with the title before they designed the world.
Yeah,
right.
Resident Evil 9 is going to be a Felix, and then you'll be the hero.
Oh yeah, it's got to be. It's
got to be IX.
It's going to be I need an ominous word with the letter X in it.
Yeah, you could do Helix, like the way the movies made the virus.
Ooh, and make the I out of the L.
Little DNA strand.
Oh yeah, or no, IX. Yeah, right at the end. Okay, there you go. Resident Evil 9. Resident Evil Helix is what it'll be called. There it is.
Helix are good.
You heard it here first. It's going to take place in a city. It's going to look super sci-fi.
Did you just say Helix are good?
I did. I did. Well, I got nothing else for tonight, guys. You guys got anything?
I'm tapped out. I'm tapped out, bro.
Yeah. I'm going to go watch The Godfather.
You know the best way to watch The Godfather? It's called It's called The Godfather Saga.
That fucking popped me, dude. Wow.
It was a re-release of Godfather 1 and 2, edited in chronological order, that was released as a miniseries in 1977.
I will never watch that.
I did. It's 7 hours long, and I watched it in 2 days, 2 sittings, 3.5, and then 3.5.
Never watch that.
Godfather Saga is the best way to watch the first 2 Godfather movies. Fuck the third.
Felix has the Bife look. He should do Bife lore videos for The Godfather.
I would watch that.
I would 100% fire that up. Let's go.
Sure.
Kevin Oates says, "Here we go again." I'm just gonna shut the fuck up. I'm done.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for listening. This is the Emerging Gamer Podcast, episode 255. We're somehow still doing the show. I'm Trip Zero. We got our host Felix Hergood right here, and Diamond Jab, our guest. Diamond, thank you for being here, man. Thank you always.
Thank you for having me, as always.
Good talks, good hangs. Like I said, I'm Trip Zero. You guys can find me on Trip Zero TV on literally every social platform ever. Trip Zero TV, easy to find. And I stream Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursday nights, 7 to 11 on Twitch, twitch.tv/Trip Zero TV. Who next?
Anyone. My name is Diamond Jab. You can catch me Twitter, Instagram, twitch.tv/Diamond Jab. I stream Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 7 p.m. To midnight. And then I will always have a new YouTube video on Friday. I mentioned a little earlier, the YouTube video this week is going to be our review for Disintegration from V1 Interactive and Private Division. And then next week we are going to be playing a game called Waylanders, which is an early access RPG from a bunch of the developers from BioWare and Telltale. A lot of people have akin it to like a Dragon Age Origins. So we're going to check that out. It's currently in early access, but that's what'll be on the channel next week. So yeah, everywhere at Diamond Jab.
And I'm at Felix Hergood, Twitch and Mixer. I go live to both of them simultaneously, so follow me on either. It's still one community when I go live. This Friday, my birthday stream, I will be streaming The Last of Us 2, which comes out on my birthday.
Hell yeah.
So, I mean, anyone who doesn't want spoilers, don't come watch me. But if you don't care, come on in. Check it out. And I also stream other games, but I think my next official stream is Friday. I don't think I'm streaming tomorrow, so definitely Friday, and maybe on Saturday as well. I don't know. I don't know where I'll be, but yeah, check it out.
Cool. All right, guys. Thanks for listening, and we will see you next week.
Yeah, talk to you soon.
See you guys.